There's a running joke all through the build-up of the first fight that Eubank just kept saying, like before he was about to fight Conor Ben, he said that he had to be at 15% to beat him because Conor Ben just ain't on his level. And then when obviously the inevitable happened, which was Conor Ben got caught for taking steroids, and the fight got called off. Obviously, the replacement opponent was Liam Smith. And then Eubank said the same thing about Liam Smith. He gave him a higher percentage, to be fair. He said he only has to be at 50% to beat Liam Smith. But to be honest with you, like, I think this is last chance saloon for Chris Eubank Jr. I think he needs to be 150% to beat Liam Smith today. I think he needs to do something that he's never done before. Like, he's given great performances against the likes of Yildirim. Obviously, when he won his IBO title, the first one, he gave a relatively good performance, and also when he beat Arthur Abraham, that was a really high performance for his level. But for him to beat Liam Smith, who's in his prime, who is a very good champion, who was a very good champion, who was a game fighter, who's world class. He's not elite. Don't get it twisted. He's not on the level of a Canelo or Golovkin, but I think he's one or two levels below that. But he's above Eubank Jr. in terms of pedigree and skill and talent and what he's actually accomplished. I think for Eubank Jr. to beat him, he's gonna have to be at 150%. He's gonna have to be at his peak. Like he can't put 1 foot wrong tonight. And with Eubank Jr., I just feel like he makes so many mistakes. I think that's almost impossible for him because even though athletically he's very gifted, he's very fast, he's very fit, he's obviously an athletic specimen. I think like he's got too many technical deficiencies to actually beat Liam Smith. So in my opinion, I think Liam Smith is going to win this. But if Eubank Jr. does win this somehow, I think he's going to have to be at his absolute peak, at his best. And he knows this last chance saloon. If he can't beat... I remember him saying it in a press conference that... I mean, I think he gave him a psychological crux when he said that he doesn't think that Liam Smith actually beat him in the first fight. Like, he beat him because of like he was luck. That's what he claimed it to be. Like he was a lucky punch or something. And he said it himself. If he beats him again in the second fight, then he can't blame that. Like Liam Smith is just a better fighter. And I think that's the truth. If he beats him the second time, he is just a better fighter. Even though you can argue that's the case now, because he did win a WBO title and he's got a better pedigree than Eubank does, and he's got a better reputation and resume and such. But I think for Eubank to beat Liam Smith, he's going to have to be at his absolute best, and he's got to show something that he's not shown before. But I just don't see it happening. I just think it's too late in the game for him to change. I think what he is what he is. He can get any trainer, but it's too late in the game for him to change. If he had Bomac 3-4 fights before and they got to jail into a proper training camp, then he could have potentially made a change. But I think it's a little bit too late now, and I think he's getting on a bit as well. So I think Liam Smith is going to win this. But if Chris Eubank Jr. does win this, he's going to have to be at 150%. That's the only way that it's possible for him to actually win a fight like this. But tell me what you think below. What chance do you give Eubank Jr. of winning this? In my opinion, I'll give him a 30% chance. I think there's a 70% chance that Liam Smith beats him, because usually when rematches are so one-sided, when there's someone that got knocked out or something, it's usually because the fight usually goes the same way in the second fight. To be fair though, I will say this: Eubank Jr. did have some success in the earlier rounds. I remember when he's landing uppercuts on him, and he looked like he was piecing him up a bit. But then obviously Liam Smith is a much more sophisticated, well-rounded pressure fighter than other opponents that he's fought. So tell me what you think below. What chance do you give Eubank Jr. of beating him? I think it'd give him a 30% chance, but for him to pull off that 30%, he's going to have to be at 150% of his potential, not 50%, not 70%. He has to do something that he's never done before, I think. Like, he's going to have to show levels to his games that he's never done before, and I just don't think it's going to happen. I think it takes months and years to turn around a fighter. And it's multiple training camps. You can't just do it with one training camp with Bomac and expect to be on that level. And I think, unfortunately for Eubank Jr., he's never neglected his training. I mean, he's a consummate professional when it comes to his work ethic, but I think he's neglected his learning path when it comes to being a professional. Like, he never developed himself as a proper fighter in terms of like his technical skills and his proficiencies and like learning to become a proper fighter. While if you look at someone like Liam Smith doesn't have the athleticism of Eubank, but he's very well schooled, and he has developed his technical proficiency as a fighter. And I think that's the difference between the two. Eubank is more athletic, but Liam Smith is more well schooled, and and has actually developed his technical skills to become a great world class fighter. But tell me what you think below. Who do you think's going to win? I think I've got Liam Smith via decision or KO in the later rounds. That's my prediction. Tell me what you think below, and like and subscribe to the channel. I've got a lot more content coming your way. Peace.